Hello everyone, welcome to the Mustached Maven. I am Jeff Patrick, your host, and today we are going to look at a signature form. So this is going to be a form, a photo release form, that requires a signature on an iPad device or any tablet device really, and we can capture that and save it back into SharePoint. So that's what we're going to do. So I have already done a little bit of the work for us. I've got a app created. And in this app, I have gone into the settings and I have changed the display for a portrait in a iPad size, so the 4x3 iPad size. In this app, I also have the modern controls and themes turned on so that we can use those modern controls and themes. I've also gone in, changed the app icon and colors slightly. Inside the app itself, I have a single screen called a signature page screen. And in the signature page screen, I have a header, which I have photo release in. We've got an event name, which is a text control. Then we have a full name, email address, and phone number. Those are text input controls, or text input canvases. And below that, I've got another label that is just a sign below label so that this box is ready to be signed in. This is a pen input, so we can do a pen input here. I've got some properties set on this, so the font is already set to 1 pixel, and then below that I have a button, and this is one of the new button controls. We have an icon embedded right into that button. That's it. I don't have any code behind on any of this yet. I do not have a data source, so let's go ahead and add a data source, and just let me switch over to SharePoint real quick. I do have a communications site over here with a photo release signatures list. And in this list, I've renamed the title to name. I've got an email, phone, event, signature, which is the image. If you look at that, it's an image type, and then a signature date. So those are the different pieces of data that I am saving back into SharePoint. So if I come over here, add data source, we'll use one of my current SharePoints out there. We'll do a communication site and our photo release signature. And we'll connect that data source to our app. So what we have here is just 3 text input boxes. They are not associated with a form. They are not tied to any data sources at this point. And what I want to do is I need an ID number inside of SharePoint to send this image to. So I'm going to use a Power Automate to create that ID using this information, send it to SharePoint, create an item, and then return back to our Power app the ID for that SharePoint item. Once I have that ID, I can take that ID and use that to patch this image into that SharePoint list. So let's go create a Power Automate. I'm going to create from a blank. When I do this, I get a new flow. Of course, we want to name our flows. From our Power Apps, we want to select an input. I want to capture the name, email, a phone number. Go ahead and capture the event as well. Event name. I'm going to create a new action here. This is going to be a SharePoint create item. Again, this is going to be in my list that I already have. And then for the title, that's where I'm going to put my full name. Email is going to be in the email address. Our phone number is going to be the phone number. The event name is going to be the event name. Because what we're wanting to do is make sure that we capture the current date and time. So we're going to do this, and for the expression, we're going to do the UTC now. All right. And lastly, we're going to respond to a Power App or a flow. And what I want to respond back with is number. That number is going to be the SharePoint ID number. So I can do SPO underscore item ID. Now with our workflow completed, I can go into our Submit button, and we're going to go ahead and add a little code to the on select. We're going to remove the false, and we're going to do a set. Remove the false and do set. And the first thing I need to do here is name a variable. So this is going to be the variable, and this is going to be SPO ID. And what I want to do is to fill this variable, I'm going to do the photo release signature dot run. And when I do this, I need to actually pass some variables. So the text, the first one that I want is the full name. So this is going to be text input control full name dot value. The second one will be text input control email dot value. The third one is going to be the text input control phone dot value. And lastly, it's going to be the event name dot text. And that's because that is not a text input control, that is a text canvas control. And we'll close that with a closed parentheses. That is the closing out the run. Then from there, I'm going to close the set. So when I do this, this is going to send these parameters to my workflow, save the item into SharePoint, and return back the SharePoint ID number for the item that was just created. Now, once I'm done with that, the next thing I need to do, I'm going to end that function. I'm going to do another function for a patch. And I do want the photo release signature. Let's go ahead and put that on the next line here, comma. And what I need to do here is actually do a lookup. This lookup is going to be the lookup based on, yes, again, photo release signatures, but it's going to be based on the ID, where it is equal to the variable dot, the SPO ID, item ID is what is being returned. So I can now close that patch, do a comma. Then after I've done my lookup, then I can do what I need to patch. So this one's going to be the signature. And from there, I'm going to do the pen input signature dot image. We'll close that little curly bracket out. Then I can close that patch parentheses and stop that. Now, once I've got that patch done, I need to reset my parameters on my page so that it'll be ready for the next photo release signature to come in. So I'm going to reset there. I'll reset the signature, reset the full name, reset the email, and finally reset my phone. All right, and that's it. So I'm setting a variable. I'm using that variable here to patch that image into that same ID, and then I'm going to reset those items. So if I collapse this down, we'll save this. With it saved, then I can come over here to this and type in Jeff Patrick, Jeff at jeffpatrick.com, and there is my email address and my phone number. Then in my signature here, I can just signature that and submit. Over into my SharePoint list, refresh this. That is how we can use Power Apps inside of an iPad to capture a signature for a photo release in this case, and then we can save that data back into SharePoint so that we can keep it and retain it as long as we need to. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.